Let me change the music right now that I'm hearing too, because I don't want to hear this like 2012 like shit right now that I'm listening to. Let me just change the playlist. Do you know the band Sophie Tucker? They put some music on FIFA. They're freaking sick. I'm gonna put them on my headphones right now. What's going on, guys? ¿Cómo están? Finally, that I solved that. Yeah, welcome back to another episode of Aftermath. As you may have realized already, we did change the name of the series. We did change it from unscripted to Aftermath because unscripted is going to be something else that we're going to be developing not only for this channel, but also for the engine room. We've been doing a lot of work. Well, I've been doing a lot of work to get the graphics done for that new project. But anyhow, that's for the future. Let's talk about now about Barcelona's victory over Valencia. This game was nail-biting. This game was a proper nail-biter of a game. Because if we're being completely honest, when we saw Barcelona and the way that they play in the first half, I was expecting this to be a defeat. I really was expecting that to be a defeat. There was no way to come out of really what we were doing in the first in the first half. There was no way to explain our bad performances. The ball wasn't being circulated as fast as they really should have. And we're going to get in depth a lot more into this first performance, but I'm just surprised that we actually did manage to get a win here because I was not expecting it at all. Everything was set out for us to lose yet again. And just like Granada was kind of set out for us to win in a game where the context kind of favored us to lose, we did actually manage to pull out the 3 points. And it's kind of due to the man here on the spotlight, the man in the thumbnail, Lionel Messi. He saves the day indeed. And do not come here saying to me that Messi never is clutch. The guy can be clutch whenever he really wants to be. And even though he actually did fail the penalty, he actually did miss it, or it was safe, but it was a horrendous penalty. It was a horrendous penalty. It was clear pressure creeping up him, like in his body, in his mind, in his brain. Messi was not ready to take that penalty. He really wasn't ready to take that. Because it showed. His penalty was so weak. So freaking weak. But we did actually manage to get 3 points. And I'm happy for that. I'm really happy for that. So guys, how are you doing? Let me know. How are you doing? People are saying Kuma needs to leave. And Roberto as well. We got Sam here saying, I think we need to be concerned about Ter Stegen performance recently. How do you think about Donnarumma being a long-term replacement? I think that right now Ter Stegen is really going under a very bad spell of form. I do agree with some of you on that. I really do think that Ter Stegen is not performing the best that he really should have. But if we're being completely honest, I don't think he needs to be substituted anytime soon. I don't think that we need somebody else to come in and take his position, because in reality, he's good enough for the job on paper, and I do not want anything else. I don't want anyone else right now. I want Ter Stegen to stay there. He's a guy that has come here, adapt to the club, adapt to the city very well. And that's where we actually have to give him praise, because he does look like a player that understands the value of what this club means. And I do not want somebody else that can take his position and not be in a way the right fit for our team. I actually do like how he's playing. In the long term, he's still doing a good job, but we just have to wait and see how he turns his form around, because he's a world-class player. So we need to see his character show up. What else, guys? Since the international break, we've been so inconsistent, says Black Hammer. 8744 moderator says Ter Stegen is still a good goalkeeper. People want a new shiny toy. Low Mourinho. People are saying Mourinho should come in. That's a joke. That has to be a joke. Please, it has to be a joke. Robin Hamar Gren is saying, what center back should we sign according to you, Buga? Regarding center backs, I think that until we get rid of Gerard Piqué, well, Samuel Umtiti, I'm already kind of discarding him all completely. I was watching the other day the game between France and Belgium of the World Cup, because I do remember that Umtiti was good in that game. I did watch the game again. Kind of extended highlights. It was kind of like 60 minutes of game time. And the reality is that Umtiti was such a wonderful world-class defender. He really was. He was up there in his game, up there between the best on the planet. And he has just fallen down completely because he decided to prioritize that short-term spell of winning the World Cup rather than going ahead and trying to get the full, let's say, the full correct treatment to be able to still perform at a high level throughout the rest of his career. And it's sad to see, but I'm already discarding him. I would say that Piqué, for instance, since Piqué coming back, we've actually conceded so many goals. We've conceded 2 goals, 1 goal. I'm watching right now the Barcelona fixtures, and we've conceded a lot of goals. So let me count them just for you guys right now. So since Piqué arrived back at Barcelona after his injury, we've conceded twice against Getafe, we conceded twice against Villarreal, we conceded twice against Granada, once against Villarreal, sorry, and twice against Valencia. Literally, or you could count, he wasn't against Real Madrid, so I won't count that. But that's a reality, guys. We've conceded 2, 4, that's 4, make 5, we made 7 goals. We've conceded 7 goals since Piqué has arrived, and I feel that really tells you the kind of the gist of it, right? Piqué is a good leader in the dressing room. He's a good leader. He's a good vocal player. And he has actually been putting good performances here and there in some key matches. But when we're talking about the longevity of this player, he's already, 34? 30? I think he's 34 years old, right? He's 34 years of age. And although in the grand scheme of things, that is young for any human being, for a footballer as a defender and someone that plays in a very high line in a defensive system like Barcelona, that is not ideally what we would need. So if Piqué actually does leave the team and does actually give kind of room for another player to come and step into that position, I would say Araujo should be it. If we are being then kind of optimistic in the long term, we should sign somebody like Matthijs de Ligt. That would be my name. I think that Matthijs de Ligt is a world-class center back. I really do think he's that good of a defender. And if we're able to have a core of players that are Eric Garcia, Araujo, Mingueza, and de Ligt, we're talking about 4 incredible defenders that should be good enough to make Barcelona competitive again in a defensive spectrum. And I believe that would be the case. I would like to sell Lenglet if possible, because I want to vouch for Clement Lenglet. He's a player that on paper should be good for what we're doing right now at Barcelona. His delivery is very good. His passing, his ball movement, the way he carries the ball is all perfect. He has the right skill set and attribute. But up here, something is not working. Because today, some of you were saying here in the chat that literally Lenglet was chasing ghosts for that goal that we conceded, the first one against Valencia. The goal from Paulista. And that is the truth, really. That is the truth. Lenglet chases ghosts, and he's not good enough for this position right now. He was really good the first season and then the one after that, but he's already in his 3rd season, I believe, and he hasn't improved quite a bit. He really hasn't improved, and I think his ceiling is that one of a player. I think he could be a good 4th, 3rd choice center back, but in the reality of things, if you want to be competitive, he wouldn't be my starting 11. And in the game against Atletico Madrid, I was thinking about this while we were watching the game. And for me, Barcelona should play with Piqué, Araujo, and Mingueza. Because I think that if we're looking at our defenders, from Jordi Alba to Dest through our center backs, I think the most consistent players in that back line has been throughout the season Jordi Alba and Oscar Mingueza. Jordi Alba first, Mingueza second. I want to do that exercise with you guys. If you have to list your 3 center backs, not 3 center backs, 3 best defenders of the season so far, I would do the same. I would put Jordi Alba first, Oscar Mingueza second, and then Araujo third. And that's Araujo being injured twice, right? So it really tells you the how the story is. It really tells you how it plays out. So for the last 4 games, that would be my back line. We still have 4 games, guys. Atletico Madrid, Levante, Celta Vigo, and Eibar. La Liga is going to be hard. It's going to be pretty hard, but we need those players to step up. And I wanted to read the comment here from Christian Gomez, which I kind of skimmed through what I was reading here. And he says, I actually disagree, Buga. A leader doesn't blame his teammates like with PSG. A leader doesn't let his emotions take over crucial moments. A leader inspires and Piqué just divides. I do get where you're coming from, because that is something that, for instance, it's a reaction, like the way that you interpret that and the way that you take that way of communicating from Piqué. So, for instance, I am a person that I do react positive to stuff like that. If somebody calls me out, and I know it's not a great example, but for instance, if we're playing, I don't know, a video game, me and my friends were on a squad, right? And they told me, oh, you did a mistake or something like that, and they encouraged me, like putting blame like that and being a little bit aggressive. That's where I kind of turn up a little bit more, because I want to prove them wrong. That is the way that I do stuff. But you're right in that a leader needs to know the way that every single player reacts. And apparently that way is not the best right now, because Barcelona are quite weak mentally. So I think you're right on that one. X Prime 10 says, it's funny how everyone blames Lenglet, but Piqué, that La Masia Golden Boy, gets a pass every single game. We're not getting a pass here. I think that he was actually pretty bad in today's game. He really, really was. But that's the thing. What do I value more? Who would I play in front? I don't know about you. Who said that? So X Prime says about Piqué. What do you mean Alba is not a defender? Alba is a defender. But yeah, so X Prime, like what could we do? Because like I don't know what would be our best free center backs for the game against Atletico Madrid. So we would either have Piqué, Lenglet, Mingueza, and Araujo at our disposal, because I don't think anyone would put Umtiti. So I would put, like I already said, Araujo, Piqué, and Mingueza as our back three. Some people may put Araujo or Piqué and then start one of Lenglet or Umtiti, which could also work. But I don't know. I would still keep Piqué in that position. Madame Bandari says, do you think Real Madrid will lose points? That's actually we can do right now. That's a quick exercise we can take a look at. So if we go ahead and look at Real Madrid fixtures, if I put them out here right now on my screen. So their last remaining games for Real Madrid in this season are, well, Chelsea in the Champions League, away at the Stamford Bridge. They have that on Wednesday. Then they play this Sunday against Sevilla, which is a crucial game as well for them. We would hope, fingers crossed, that they drop points there. Against Granada away from home, I mean, Barcelona did dominate, but still they kind of suffer. So potentially Real Madrid could lose points against Granada come next Thursday. And then after that, even there's Atletico Bilbao away from home. And then they have Villarreal at home. So there are 4 very difficult teams and hard pills to swallow. So I do think that Real Madrid could lose some points here or there. But I don't care too much about Real Madrid right now, because I want to win our games. I want to focus on what we have to do. And I believe that's the thing that made Barcelona suffer in this game and the one against Granada. Because against Granada, we were kind of, very a little bit, how do you call it? I would say against Granada, Barcelona were overconfident, because they went into that game overconfident against Granada, knowing that Atletico Madrid and Real Madrid lost points. That didn't make them play the best against Granada, and that is the reality of it. Against here Valencia, we had the pressure play against us, because we knew that Real Madrid and Atletico Madrid got all the full points. So the sooner we change the weaker mentality of looking at what our rivals, our opposition cannot do, and then we act accordingly, we should just be focusing on ourselves. And that is something very difficult to do in human nature, because I don't know about you guys, but comparisons, for instance, I really like this quote. Comparisons are the thief of joy, because you cannot take joy in what you do personally if you're always contrasting yourself and comparing yourself with rivals, with other people in your class, against different companies, different brands. If you have like something that you want to build, it's not the way to go. So Barcelona really shouldn't be focusing on that. Shouldn't really be focusing on what Real Madrid is doing or what Atletico Madrid is doing. They have 4 games on their hands. They don't have Champions League. They don't have anything else. They already won La Liga, a title in the Copa del Rey. They have to focus on these games. And the sooner that Koeman, Schreuder, Henrik Larsson, all of the coaches and the staff, the rest of the staff, Laporta, the players, all of them get into this mentality of focusing on what we need to do, that is when Barcelona are actually going to be able to pull out these big game results. Because for the longest of time, in these last 2 games, we've suffered because of what we expect the other opposition to do. And that was a bad decision from everyone. And that cost us very, very much. Going back to your comments, guys, I want to read some more comments and then get into some analysis of what we can talk about today's game. We have Medellin saying Roberto came on because Des needs rest. There is no other right backs. That is the truth, though. I also think that in a way, Koeman perhaps rested Des against Granada because, we thought that we could beat Granada without Des. So that I think is an overreaction from them. Big Dream Mode says is it just me or have you guys noticed we play better on Saturdays? I have absolutely no idea what do you mean with that because I have not realized that. That would be interesting, right? If you do a compilation to see how we play Saturdays versus Sundays. Kushik Parameswaran says, Buga, could you please do a special match review for the match between Madrid and Sevilla? Just one-time thing for an opposition match? It could happen. Could be interesting to do. Maybe. Christian Gomez says, exactly. Why should we focus on Atletico Madrid and Real's mentality or position on the table? Just play our own games to the best of our abilities and let fate take its course. We will relieve pressure that way. Agree 100%. Niklaus Ardax, I'm just going to call you Niklaus. What's your honest opinion on Ilaix Moriba? I think Ilaix Moriba is a good player. I think he's a good player that can be instrumental to a squad. But I don't know. Like, I need to see more of him to really know whether he's going to be a proper name to take us to the top, where he can actually reach that sort of levels of becoming a world-class proper player that can kind of completely control the midfield on his own. That is something that I need to see more of before I can make that argument. Because right now, Moriba is playing okay. Is giving rest to someone like Pedri and stuff like that. But whilst I know that Reggie Puig is potentially of a higher caliber or has a better skill set than Moriba, for some reason Koeman does not play him. So there must be something there that's going wrong. This is something we've had throughout the entire season, but we just have to see how it develops. Victory Mo says, Buga, can we give a shout out to the Barça Femení for making it to the UCL final? 100% Big Trick Mo. If you don't know, guys, already, Barcelona Femení reached all the way to the final of the Women's UEFA Champions League. They beat PSG today 2-1 at home with a double from Diego Martinez, which is a very good double, honestly. It was a very good run of play. They are absolutely demolishing in La Liga. They're absolutely demolishing in the UCL. And now they have to play against France Kirby's and Sam Kerr's Chelsea in the final, which is going to be interesting to see. So that final is going to be on the 16th of May, guys. Go and watch it. It's going to be actually a good game, I think. Sam with a $10 donation. Thank you very much, Sam. You come here with saying, here's how Laporta should spend the 50 mil sponsorship he will get. Swap Lenglet and Dembele for the elite. Swap Griezmann plus 60 mil for Neymar and spend the 150 mil for Haaland, and the rest is debt, probably. I mean, on an ideal world, that's how I would like it to go, but I don't think the 50 million of the sponsorship will go directly into the squad. Maybe that is something that will change. Shuma Antikunasa says, Maxi's bad form after the international break could be a case of just Ter Stegen not playing that many games in the international break. And actually, when he did play those games, oh my god, no, I just realized my shirt actually broke. There's like a little part here that's broken. That's so sad. That's so sad. I just actually realized. My Adidas logo is like cut in half. That is so sad. Okay, but that entire sponsorship money, I don't think it will go directly into the players. I don't think that's going to be something that will go... Oh, we're not talking about that. We're talking about Ter Stegen, sorry. Oh. Yes, it could happen because they actually lost against Macedonia, Germany, while Ter Stegen was on the pitch. It wasn't a good thing for his mentality, for his head and whatnot. So yeah, could be the case. But Aful says, I hope Xavi comes this season because IMO Koeman doesn't take Barca to glory. I think Koeman is a good manager to reinstate Barcelona back into the right path, but I don't think he's the guy to get us to glory like you're saying right now. I don't think he will be the guy to decimate Europe and make Barcelona the next version of the Naranja Mecánica. I don't think that is going to happen. Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen. People are saying rip shirt. I agree with you. It's so sorry. It's so bad. It's like it's so sad. It's one of my favorite shirts as well. I need to get new clothes, dude, because all my clothes in England, and in Peru I have no clothes. Kayode Ahmed says, I'll keep Griezmann 1,000%, not 100, 1,000%. He says, he's the most committed player on this team. And that is something, honestly, Kayode, that I agree with you right there. Griezmann is a player that's always going to give his 100%. Even though he may not play the best, he will give his 100% to the team, defending, tracking, doing all the work that's necessary from a forward in this system. Because he's a player that if you actually do look on paper what he has won, he hasn't won that much. So, well, he has won the World Cup, La Copa del Rey, the Europa League, things like that. But La Liga, a Champions League, things like that. He has never been part of an instrumental team like this before, because Atletico Madrid, whilst Griezmann was there, just won the Europa League and the Super Cup. So they're kind of left there and thereabouts, and that would be good to see. D3 Vin or Devin says, we need to start shooting more outside the box sometimes, kind of like how Carlos Soler did today. I agree with you also on that. I thought that Pjanic would be a player that would actually bring that skill set to our midfield, but I guess he's just not playing. Leon Forrester saying, oh yeah, BugaLuis, have you heard that they are planning on a loan swap push to either Inter Milan or Juventus? A loan or swap with who? Who would be the players that we would get in return? Hala Rafi says, I just hope Guardiola comes back somehow. Someday he may come back. B. Lewin says, Dembele was warming up for 30 minutes today. Felt bad for him. Yeah, I kind of do feel bad for players like that kind of warm up and never come out. Please answer to what is my name. Okay, what is my name says, what do you think about Neymar coming back, and will he be our first priority, not Haaland? That is something that I want to talk about in a different video, because I'm planning on doing something like that. I haven't been getting the best amount of time. I haven't got the best time to right now do a lot of videos because I'm working on my thesis for graduation. One more month and I'm out of university, guys. Leave me in the chat right now. They will be interesting to see who has followed me while I was doing videos in university, like in my other room in England. Who was following us from all the way there? I want to see that. I want to see who has been following us for a long time. It has been already 3 years and I'm almost done with my university. It's gonna be very, very cool. Okay, so what you were saying about, oh my god, I forgot. I always forget. Okay, Neymar and Haaland. I think that Neymar and Haaland will be a very interesting situation, particularly because probably one will take the place of the other in terms of priority. I would, of course, prioritize 100% Haaland over Neymar because we are getting a younger player, and I think a younger player over Neymar is always the case. But Neymar is also an incredible footballer. Like, we cannot forget that, but he's already 29 years of age. So I don't know. You do see how PSG play sometimes, how they play against Man City in the first half, how they did against Bayern Munich over the 2 legs. Neymar was the best player on that field, and by a landslide. So getting that back in Barcelona could potentially open up plenty of issues. So I don't know. I would still go for Haaland, but Neymar wouldn't be the worst of things. And I'm not that kind of guy that cares too much about the lawsuits, the problems, that the way that he went out, all of that. I don't really care that much. So yeah, I wouldn't mind him back, but if we do that, then what happens with Dembele? And that is something that I'm not happy with. Okay, people are saying me, they're back here all the way. Bashan saying your theme song video into a screenshot back then. One day, Ronaldinho. That song is freaking great, bro. That song is freaking great. Pratik Deshmukh says, what do you think should Riqui Puig play instead of Moriba? I think Riqui Puig should be playing more than Moriba. Not in every game, but yep, he should play 100% more. People are saying, what did I study in university? I studied media production. So basically how to record TV episodes, how to write a script, things like that, how to work properly, Photoshop, Premiere Pro, all those stuff. Just to get a job in the media, create stuff, marketing, things like that. So for instance, a big company that I would like to apply for is Red Bull, like Red Bull Sports, things like that. It's also pretty cool. They have pretty much a lot of social media channels, Bleacher Report, things like that. So that is kind of what I want to do with the Edge Room, make it our own thing. But of course, you cannot make a player out of nowhere, a brand out of nowhere. AC1347 says, Buga, Ilex is like Pogba Goretzka, but with a worse physique. What are your thoughts? I mean, Pogba and Goretzka are 27 years of age. So Ilex Moriba has some time to get to that point. At 17 years of age, your muscle are not going to be as developed as that. So let's judge Moriba when we get to that point. His physique will hopefully grow, and it's up to how Barcelona will actually make him, I don't know, how you call it, how Barcelona actually treat him right to get to that point. Mr. Capalot says, Buga, what do you think about Griezmann into 2021? I think he has been great. Probably he has been one of the top 10 players in the world, if we're being honest. He's really been that good. Buga, what about Firpo Piqué Mingueza or Firpo Araujo Mingueza? Dude, I really like how Firpo played against PSG and all that, but I don't think he's the answer. How do you feel about Atletico game given that Messi had to carry us today? I'm a little bit nervous. I actually am a little bit nervous. I don't know what will be the right setup to break Atletico Madrid down. I don't know what type of game they're going to be playing. I'm actually going to go with a very interesting formation for my lineup for that game, so you better stay tuned for that. What do you think about Coutinho to Everton? I would really get that move for Coutinho, for being honest, and 40 million doesn't really look bad. I really wanted Koeman to try free pass center back. That one time he did play in that position, he pocket Mbappe. Ray Griezmann performance today, I think Griezmann was solid, but probably a 7 out of 10, maybe an 8 out of 10 because he actually did get the goal. Sam says Pjanic should go back to Juventus. Seriously, their midfield is so bad. I know Pjanic is such an incredible player, honestly, and the fact that we are having him on the bench all the time, the thing is that he just doesn't fit into our system that well. So. But Shen says, Buga, please don't stop you after you get a job, please. I'll try not to. Bro, where are you from? I'm from Peru. I don't have anything that says Peru, so I cannot show. Yeah, but I'm from Peru. Peru in South America. Fierx says, De Jong, second most important goal of Barca. De Jong, second most important player for Barca. Oh, I don't know why I read a goal somewhere in your sentence. But yeah, I think De Jong is probably right now our second most pivotal player, especially taking, overcoming, let's say, Ter Stegen. Because Ter Stegen at one point was saving us game in and game out, and he's not doing that right now. So De Jong is kind of climbing up that ladder. Today, Ter Stegen also wasn't the best performer, so I wouldn't really call him a great player in this game. He wasn't that good. Leon Forrester says, so as the rumor goes, we are potentially planning to either loan Rick Puig to Inter or Juve or swap him for Alessandro Bastoni from Inter or Rabiot from Europe. And personally, I don't like it. I wouldn't swap Ricky Puig for any of them. Like, I'll take Rabiot probably, but he's like already like 25, if I'm not wrong. Like 2 seasons ago, he was proper class, but right now at 25, he's going to take time to adapt, all of that. So, I don't know. Let me check the age. I think he's 25. Is it Adrian? No, it's Adrien, right? Adrien Rabiot. Yeah, he's 25. Fuck that. No way in hell we're gonna let go of Ricky Puig for Adrien Rabiot. I ain't gonna do that. Intranocte says, Buga, I'm afraid that Atletico will just park it and go for a dull draw. That's pretty much the Liga done for us unless something insane happens in the last 2-3 games. Dude, I think that indeed we do need to have a good plan against Atletico, like a proper game plan to try and execute it for that game. What is my name says, bro, who do you think will win the Copa America? Of course, Peru will win it. Peru will win the World Cup in 2022. Peru is going to win every single international competition from now onwards. Ashvin Siane says, so many fans shitting on Pedri and Moriba today. People forget that they're 18, for fuck's sake. We can always expect them to play at a high level every game. I agree with you 100%. Pedri did not have a relevant game. But it's not bad. It's not horrible. You just have to point out that he doesn't have a bad game. That's fine. You cannot then go, Pedri shit, because he isn't. It doesn't make sense. He had a bad game. Yeah, he had a bad game. Moriba didn't have a good game. He didn't have a good game. Fine. That's all you need to talk about. Bernard Luis says, Buga, Barcelona can't win any game if they not scoring more than 2 goals. Our defense is literally trash. They can't defend a single goal. I think that our problem more defensive wise than scoring. And I agree with you 100%. Like, also scoring technically is also our problem. Like, finishing chances were pretty bad as well. So I guess that pretty much we're bad all around. But indeed, like, I think that today's victory was one that was kind of hard fought, because if you're really looking at the first half, Barcelona played bad football and they were just not capable of finishing chances. Like, Pedri had 2 incredible chances today and he missed both of them. And I'm not expecting him to finish them. Well, I am, in a way. I'm expecting any player of this quality to kind of finish them. But I think that is something that will happen in the next few years. It will be better. I think that Pedri will improve as a player overall. His finishing is not yet up to scratch, but I like the guy previously just said here on the chat, he's 18. He's just 18, so I don't really expect him that much on that. But then something also that I want to touch on about this game is that Koeman wasn't there, right? Koeman wasn't there, and he's what do you call it? His assistant manager or assistant coach in Schroeder, he did pretty good. I think that he managed the game well. I don't know if he actually did take the decisions on it, but we did kind of press when it was needed to. We did actually kind of defend him when we needed to, but after that, it was fine. It wasn't just terrible like the last one. So at least we saw some sort of improvement, but we're gonna need something better in the game against Atletico Madrid. We're really gonna need that. Big Dream says, to be honest, I don't think our defense is that bad. I think that our midfield opponents get past our midfield easily. I guess that's a pretty good take from you, if you're being honest. I think that, let's say, if we actually did have Frankie de Jong and one of those players you mentioned before, like a Pogba or Goretzka, I think we would be much better in that sense. Well, not Pogba, because Pogba is not literally a... He doesn't defend that good as well, so... Yeah. But if we had somebody else, like... Sam here is saying Ndidi, Zakaria, we would be doing better. We would be doing way better. Unknown Sect says, I think the same lineup against Atletico Madrid except Mingueza on and the same subs. I mean, that wouldn't really surprise me. Imagine if we got Gaia, he was on fire today. He really was good today. But Alba was as well, so I really wouldn't rush it. Elvis R says, is it true that we really lacking the midfield? I think our midfield is not the best right now because we don't have that many players covering for it. If we actually do take a look at the way that we play, we have one youngster in 18, a player that is dying of age in 33, and then we have De Jong, which is just the only kind of solid staple of that midfield. I mean, Atletico isn't that good either at the moment. Yeah, they're not that good as well. Fardin Ahmed says Trincao should get more chances. Somebody asked me about my opinion on Trincao, which I do get. I think Trincao is a good player. I think Trincao could serve a purpose in Barcelona going into the future. I do feel that potentially he has the well, I already said it, the potential to reach the top. I don't know if that's going to be at Barcelona. I would 100% hope that would be the case. But right now, there's not that much space for him. So we have to see very carefully how we work with him, especially for the seasons coming forward, for the next one as well. I wouldn't sell him. I think that he's more than a proper player for what we're doing right now at Barca, and we should keep him 100%. 100%. I think there is something between Ronaldo and Messi. Ronaldo saved Juventus and Messi saved Barca, both of them 2 goals. Probably. Leo Germain says, if Pimi gets a B team to the Segunda, promote him to what? David B says, you think Puig should be ahead of Ilax in the pecking order? I mean, probably he should be in front of the pecking order than Ilax Mariba. But that's kind of the decision of the manager. I think that is... I really do not get how Moriba really kind of jumped the ship over Riqui Puig. I do not get it. I understand it, but I do not really... Like, it doesn't surprise me, but I don't really get why Koeman is so bad with Riqui Puig in that sense. Surely at this stage of the season, you would think that he could give you something else. Casemiro at Barca, that would be perfect. That would be so perfect, honestly. That would be so perfect. You keep forgetting Mateus Fernandes. I am. Am I really forgetting Mateus Fernandes? Am I? I feel so weird about the Dembele. He can be so frustrating most of the time. Is to watch, but sometimes he's class. Rarely. BugaLuisFC. Um, Look, I think Dembele is a really good player, but I don't really know if he's gonna, like I said once again, with Trincao, gonna be able to reach the top here at Barcelona. I really do think he's class. It depends on his mentality. Football, Nukat says, Buga, do you check Instagram? Yes, I do check Instagram, not as often. The thing I check the most is Twitter, but I do check Instagram. Cam Offline says, I think Pedri can become the next Busquets rather than the next Iniesta. The type of passer he plays and defense is tracking back and covering is similar to Busquets. Yeah, I get that, but really he's the way that he covers the game is not really the same. He does better in short-term distances than in long passes, so I would really not put Pedri there, not for now. So yeah. Puig is a luxury player. He's completely right in not playing him. I don't know if he's a luxury. I've said he's a luxury player in other videos before, and I do get that. But we must try and see if he can be something else because he's still young and he's gonna be 22 the next season. So it really tells you that we must do something with him ASAP. How old is he? He's older than I am. Ricky Puig is older than I am, so he's gonna be old. If I'm old already, he's gonna be old. To be honest, if Goyal succeeds next season, he could be similar career like Pedro. I think Goyal could be an incredible player for us, and I really wanted him to play already for the first team. Just imagine Busquets with Mbappe's pace. Oh, dude. Would you sell Braithwaite this summer or keep him as a backup? I think as a backup he'll be pretty good, but if you can actually, for instance, get someone like, you know what, I would keep Depay because he won't Braithwaite because I don't really think he's gonna give you that much in terms of monetary value. I don't think that is gonna be something that you could get from his departure. So I think for what he is as a player, he's actually really good. He's kind of like the Divock Origi of our team and could be that. So I would really like to keep him in the team if we're being honest, but I don't know. Cerro this summer, yep, I would like that. What do you think about loaning Trincao and replacing with Collado? That wouldn't be the worst of options if we're being honest. But I still would like to keep Trincao in the squad. But I guess you can only have one. We should promote Nico Gonzalez. Nico Gonzalez is also pretty good. Could be an answer, really, if we're being honest. We like to see Pimienta take charge next season if Laporta loses confidence in Koeman. I wouldn't be mad. I really wouldn't be against it. Why is Griezmann playing good now, but just a month ago he was bad? What is keeping him from being consistent? I think it is the system. I think it's the formation. Sam says, I can see Fati getting loaned if Laporta buys Haaland and Neymar. No, Fati, I don't see Fati. If that happens, I see Trincao getting loaned, but not Fati. I think Fati is kind of like the crown jewel of this team, and he won't be sold anytime soon. I really don't think that's the case. We needed Thiago instead of Pjanic. We needed so much Thiago instead of Pjanic. And Thiago needed us. That's the thing. Thiago needed Barcelona, and he decided to go against it. But he should have picked Barcelona. He should have picked Barcelona over Liverpool. He really should have. What do you think about Darwin Nunez? Clinical and very, very young. I think Darwin Nunez is a good player. But for 70 million euros, which is his release clause, I don't think it's really worth it right now. AC1347 says, in my opinion, Bissouma over Ndidi, and I also prefer Fofana over the Ligt, to be honest. The Ligt is always injured, and he's been injured like 5 times or something this season. I would like to check on that. I'm not really that sure on that. Mr. Cabalot says, will Ansu be back next year for sure? Is he gonna have yet another surgery? I mean, it's not for sure. We don't know anything yet. Perez is mature in a safe decision making, but he lacks when being pressed and defending because of his lack of physicality. I think he will transform in other areas when he's stronger. I think that as well. Would I want to be a good player for 1 year until we can get Haaland in 2022? Yep, that would be the case, but only if we can ensure we can get Haaland later. Thoughts on Man U? What, on the protests? I mean, it's fine. It's a protest. Of course, I won't want the Glazers to be there. Even if I'm not a Manchester United fan, I don't want the Glazers to be there because they're ruining one of the best clubs in the history of football, and they're ruining that legacy. And we need more competition, of course. So I don't want the Glazers to be there, and I get that protests, and I like that. So go ahead, Man U. As a team, that's a different thing completely. Like, I want Roma to go through, but Roma ain't gonna pull a comeback in the Europa League. What are your top 10 players, says Mateo Tulumi? Oh, that's hard, dude. That's hard. Right now, my top 10 players. Messi, De Jong is there. Neymar is there. Haaland is there. I mean, the best players, I think. So, like, who do I think are the best players, or what are my favorite players? I'm gonna do my favorite players, because like the league is there as well. Well, the league isn't. Suarez is still there until he retires. Marquinhos is there. I really like Marquinhos. I don't know, dude. It's hard. I will have to actually sit down and think about it. I cannot give you a list right now, but that could be something I could upload on like Instagram or something like that. Elvis R is saying, I have been watching Pau Torres for a while and I really like him. Any thoughts? I think he's good. I think he's a good player, a really good player. But it's funny that in the last 3 games we've played against him, he has scored an own goal. In the last 3 games we've played, Barca versus Villarreal, he has always scored an own goal. That is one to digest, really. That is one to digest. Guys, with that being said, how long have we been talking? 40 minutes already? Ooh, we kind of have to cut it. 45 minutes is going to be coming to the mark. So, yeah. Jakov says, should we buy Camara from Marseille? He's 21. He could be a good Busquets replacement, and Moriba could play more forward. Camara is a good player, but if we're trying to sign a CDM, I think the guy to go to really could be... I mean, Bissouma is a good player. I don't know if he has what it takes to reach the top in that sense. I think Gustavo Asuncao. I don't know if you know him from Famalicão. I don't know what the name of the club is really, but that guy Gustavo Asuncao is really good. That could be an answer to our problems. I think that guy is proper good. That guy is really good. Okay, guys. I'm gonna start wrapping it up right now. So yeah. What about Tonali? Tonali is good. Locatelli is also a good CDM. I mean, Tonali makes more sense in my opinion than Locatelli. I think Locatelli has it all like screaming, go to Manchester City or some sort of deal, but they already go to Rodri, so I don't know. About the goals, we've already talked about the goals already, but if you wanna, we can do just a roundup and then I can call it a day. The first goal was awful, of course, from Lenglet. Shadowed completely. He ghosted the defender. I don't know what happened there from Lenglet and Paulista. That was so bad from Lenglet. That really pulls him down the pecking order when we're talking about the defenders once again. Then the next goal about Messi. It was bad. I think the pressure really crept into Messi there. He wasn't really the player we expected him to be from the penalty box, from the penalty area. I mean, at least he kind of scored the rebound, so that's a positive. And what's the second goal after that? Then we had the goal from Antoine Griezmann, which was a bullet header from Frenkie de Jong, incredible header from Frenkie de Jong. And then we had the goal from Messi as well, from that free kick, which was just tasty. It was really good. Overall, good goals, I believe. And of course, the rocket from Carlos Soler. Hell no, Gabriel Jesus. We hope we play Emerson. Yeah, Emerson. I really want to play Emerson as well. Tonali will stay at Milan for a long time. Probably because he's a Milan fan. I don't think we're going to... And no one is going to take him out. Who mentioned Gabriel Jesus? Who mentions Gabriel Jesus? Gabriel Jesus ain't that good. Yeah, I'll take a look at the injury record. I'm gonna take a look at the injury record. Do not worry. I got you, dude. I got you. I got you. So yeah, indeed, guys, that's gonna be everything for right now. Thank you very much for tuning in for yet another episode of The Aftermath. Think already about the questions you want to make for me for the next episode, and that next episode is going to be against I forgot, against Atletico Madrid. Oh my god, how did I forget? We're gonna be playing Atletico Madrid this Sunday, I believe. Yeah, this Sunday against Atletico Madrid. So stay tuned for that game, because it's gonna be pretty cool to see how you guys react, because I want to react with you guys as well, because we need that victory. We want to get to La Liga. If we want to get to La Liga, if we want to get the La Liga title. Oh my god. Yeah, you can tell that I'm tired. You can tell that I'm tired. But yeah, once again, guys, thank you very much. I know that we haven't been uploading these past few days a little bit since the last game against Granada, because I've been working on my graduation project for my university. It's the last month, so it's going to be a lot of grinding going on. But thankfully, hopefully, we can get the work done. So yeah, indeed. Thank you for tuning in. Follow me on Instagram. Follow me on Twitter. I post stuff there more. I'm gonna be posting more stuff on Instagram now, so it's gonna be pretty cool. But yeah, indeed, see you in the next one, and Twitter as well. Twitter is where I'm most active.